Coffee break!
There's no coffee!
No coffee?
No coffee.
No coffee.
If I can't take my coffee break, my coffee break, my coffee break. If I can't take my coffee break, something within me dies.
Lies down and something within me dies.
If I can't make 3 daily trips, or shining shrine benignly drips, and taste cardboard between my lips, something within me dies.
Lies down and something within me dies.
No coffee. 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 That office light doesn't have to be fluorescent. I'll get no pains in the head. That office chair doesn't have to be foam rubber. So if I spread, so I spread. But only one chemical substance gets out the lead.
Like she said, if I can't take my coffee break, my coffee break, my coffee break. If I can't take my coffee break.
What is the sense of enterprise?
Oh Lord, and something within me dies. No coffee, 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 no coffee. If I can't take my coffee break.
Somehow the soul no longer tries.
Coffee, coffee,
Somewhere I don't metabolize.
coffee, coffee,
Something within me.
coffee or a wine, coffee or a wine, coffee or a wine, something inside me dies.
Can I, help you, miss?
Scram.
You see, miss, I'm Bud Frump, J.B. Bigley's nephew.
Oh, how do you do? I'm waiting for Mr. Brad of Personnel. I'm his secretary.
Spotted it the minute you came in.
Oh, thank you. You see, I knew it this
Miss
soon.
LaRue?
Yeah? I mean, yes?
I'm Bert Pratt. I am a Bert Pratt personnel. Sorry to have kept you waiting.
Oh, not at all, sir. It is I whom am late.
Oh, not really.
Oh, yes. I was very naughty this morning. I'm still not yet accustomed to early
I
arrivals.
see. Well, if you'll just step to my... This is Miss Smith, my secretary.
How are you, dear? Fine, dear. Now, Mr. Pratt. Mr. Pratt!
Yes, Smitty.
I have to go get some tax for
Yes,
Golden
yes,
Place.
yes, for tax, yes. If you'll step into my office, I can get your particulars.
39, 22, 38.
Oh, I win the pool, I win the pool. Boy, isn't she something.
Oh, she sure is.
Gentlemen, one moment, please.
Say, Brad, I was thinking. I should get a new secretary.
Gentlemen, Miss LaRue will be assigned according to normal office procedure once her qualifications have been determined.
Well, I'll sure like to determine them.
Gentlemen, a secretary is not a toy, no, my boy, not a toy to fondle and dandle and playfully handle in search of some puerile joy. No, a secretary is not, definitely not, a toy.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Bratt. We wouldn't have it any other way, Mr. Bratt. It's the company rule, Mr. Bratt.
A secretary is not a toy, my boy, not a toy. So do not go jumping for joy, boy, a secretary is not. A secretary is not. A secretary is not. A toy.
A secretary is not to be used for play therapy.
Be good to the girl you employ, boy, remember no matter what. You're right, trouble you've got. A secretary is not. A toy.
She's a highly specialized key component of operational unity. A fine and sensitive mechanism to serve the office community.
With a mother at home, she supports.
And you'll find nothing like her at FAO Schwartz.
A secretary is not a pet, nor an erector set.
It happened to Charlie McCoy, boy, they fired him like a shot. The day the fella forgot, a secretary is not a toy. A secretary is not a toy. And when you put her to use, observe when you put her to use.
That you don't find the name Lionel on her caboose.
A secretary is not something wound by key, pulled by string. Her pad is to write it and not spend the night in. If that's what you plan to enjoy, no! The secretary you got is definitely not employed to do a good lot. Or you know what? Before you jump for joy, remember this, my boy. A secretary is not a tinker toy.
All of our key men are here, JB. Gentlemen, as you know, Mr. Wally Wamford, the chairman of the board.
Now, Wally, before we go any further,
I'd like to state that I know I'm president of this company, the man in charge of everything that happens here. But I'd also like to say that anything that happened here is not my fault. Oh, you'll be happy to know there's a bright side to this whole thing, Wally. We found somebody to pin it on. Where's Finch?
They're bringing him in, sir.
Good! Now you'll soon see where the responsibility for this whole thing lies. When he gets here, I'll do the talking. This is a very slick youngster, Wally.
Here he is, sir.
Mr. Bigley, I'd like to
Never
say
mind, Finch. I'll do the talking. Oh, by the way, you haven't met Mr. Whomper. He's the chairman of the board.
How do you do, Mr. Whomper? Mr. Whomper, I'd like
no
to say
speeches, Finch. It's all settled. All I want you to do is sign this simple letter of resignation in which you take responsibility for everything that's happened here.
Okay.
What?
I'll be glad to.
Are you sure this isn't one of your tricks?
Yes, Mr. Bigley. You see, this company's been good to me. Now I'm just gonna resign, take the blame, and go back to what I did before I came here.
What did you do, Finch?
I was a window washer.
No kidding. I was a window washer too.
You were?
What the hell do you think I was? A rail splitter? Ha, college man. So you were a window washer.
Yes, Mr. Whomper.
Please, call me Wally.
Okay, Wally.
So tell me, Finch.
Call me Ponty.
Okay, Pawnee. Boy, it's been a long time since I had someone around here I could actually talk to. How'd you manage to get into this business?
Well, you see, sir, I had a book.
Yeah, me too.
It was a book on how to succeed in business.
My book was more useful. I booked bets for all the other window washers. I cleaned up a bundle. Should have stayed in that business. 8 buildings wrecked. Our stock is down 5 points. We're the laughing stock of the industry.
I know, Wally. It's ghastly.
Pawnee, how could this happen? I can understand a college man pulling a boner like this, but not no window washer. Now, this idea of yours.
Wally, if there's one thing I won't do, it's take credit for another man's idea. Especially when that man is the boss's nephew.
You never told me you hired your nephew.
Nephew? Nephew. Well, he's not really my nephew. He's my wife's nephew. Now, Wally, I know this may seem like nepotism, but it's not. I've never shown him any favoritism. In fact, I hate him.
But you love his ideas.
Oh no, when he came to me with the idea, I thought it was a lousy idea. Then when Finch came to me with the same idea, I still thought it was a lousy idea, and I told Finch it was a lousy idea.
Then why'd you buy it?
I thought it was a good idea.
Ah, treasure hunts, treasure girls.
Well, Finch dressed it all up. He can't deny the idea for the treasure girl was his.
It's true, it was my idea.
Not a bad one, but who the hell picked that bubble-headed tomato? Uh-huh.
Now, Wally, I don't want you getting any of the wrong ideas. She's a very nice young girl. You ought to talk to her.
I intend to. Well, I think I got the whole picture. Now the question is what to do and who to do it to.
Oh, Wally, before you go on and make any hasty decisions, I'd like to say a few words.
About what?
Humanity. You see, even though we're all a part of this cold corporate setup, deep down inside every one of us, there's flesh and blood. We're all brothers.
And some of us are uncles. Get away from me.
Now you may join the Elks, my friends, and I may join the Shriners, while other men may carry cards as members of the diners. Still others wear a golden key or small Greek letter pin. But I have learned there's one great club that all of us are in. There is a brotherhood of man, a benevolent brotherhood of man, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, the great big brotherhood of man? Now, Wally, before you consider firing Mr. Bigley,
Who's considering that? Oh, get the hell out of here!
I know what you're thinking, Wally. You want to clear the whole crowd out from top to bottom.
Whoa!
That's the obvious move. But stop and think. One man may seem incompetent, the other not make sense, while others seem like quite a waste of company expense. They need a brother's leadership, so please don't do them in. Remember, mediocrity is not a mortal sin. We're in a brotherhood.